Hello, my friends. I'm Bean. This is Bee's Intuition. Today we're going to do a quickie, hopefully, and it's going to be about who has a crush on you, the collective. Sorry if it looks a little bit weird. I forgot my tripod at home, but I am going to do this no matter what. I'm not letting a little tripod stand in my way. I made a rock tower to put you guys on so that I could do this. I hope you appreciate it. I'm just kidding. But anyways, let's dive right in, shall we? Who has a crush on the collective? Please and thank you, Spirit. And maybe why? And maybe why though? See, that's a whole stack. No. Like one or two or three. Unless you got like 1,000 people. 1,000 might be a bit much, but unless you got a whole ton of people that have a crush on you. Which is always possible, of course, because you are part of the Hive Collective, more than likely. And therefore, ooh, you're gonna be super sexy. It's just part of your energy, baby. Anyways. Anything else? Anyone else have a crush on the collective? Please and thank you, Spirit. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Please and thank you for the magic words, baby. Okay, so it looks like it's just these two, but that's okay since we're trying to make it a quickie. All right, let me show ya what we're working with. We have the Nine of Pentacles. That's a beautiful card for sure. Then we have the King of Cups. Bottom of the deck is the Six of Wands. One of my hairs. I got those long hairs that just like, they're everywhere. Anyways, at the bottom of the deck is the Six of Wands. I feel like you're going to be in the spotlight or you're going to be shining. You could be attracting like success, especially with that Nine of Pentacles coming out first and then the Six of Wands. I wonder if you're going to be like coming into some sort of success financially, building your own abundance and stability. We'd love to see it. Okay, let's start by clarifying that Nine of Pentacles. Please and thank you, Spirit. Who has a crush on the collective with this Nine of Pentacles? Please and thank you, Spirit. Please and thank you. I hope like it's not like an uncomfortable angle to look at me through. Okay, that felt like it needed to come out. Oh. Who has a crush on the collective with this Nine of Pentacles? Please and thank you, Spirit. Who is this? Who is this? Okay, did any flip over? Norp. Okay. Then let's examine. Clarifying that Nine of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Those are the two cards that came out to clarify that Nine of Pentacles. I might try and see if more comes out afterwards, but for now, that's what we're working with. I feel like what that says is that people are attracted to your abundance at this time, but they are also very interested in your mind, the way your mind works, maybe the way you communicate, maybe your voice. And then they also think you're really hot. And they might have some lustful thoughts and feelings towards you. Then bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords. So this person, whoever they may be, and the way that it came out, it feels vague. Why do I feel like the reason it's so vague is because maybe this is describing multiple people. Ooh, I wonder, yeah. This first part of the reading could be about people that are maybe a little bit more superficial and they see that you are abundant and maybe have some sense of stability in your life and they're like, I want a piece of that. You also show up in a very independent energy, and so that could also be another thing that's attracting them. And then they like what you do with your ideas, they like how you talk, and then they also find you really hot. So I wonder if this is a group of people that are kind of into you for maybe a little bit more shallow of reasons. And then maybe this King of Cups is somebody that is genuine, that likes you for your heart, likes you for the non physical things and for the things that aren't associated with what you do. It's more, maybe this person is more so into who you are, not just what you are, if that makes any sense. With the Eight of Swords, I feel like someone, at least one person, is really stuck inside themselves. And it's almost like they're maybe overwhelmed with like how much they think about you. They could be like maybe along the lines of obsessive, and but it feels like it creates discomfort. The fact that they're thinking about you a lot, the fact that maybe they can't get you off their mind. You kind of have like sort of affected this person maybe on a deep level and they're uncomfortable with that. They could be overthinking the situation as well. But they feel stuck. They feel trapped. They feel like they can't come towards you with that Eight of Swords energy. That is definitely a lack of movement there. So maybe this is more of like a secret admirer who would like to stay. Oh, that could also be why this is such a vague part of the reading. Maybe this is a secret admirer that doesn't want to tell you that they're secretly admiring you. And maybe there's a reason in the background for that. Either maybe they're insecure, which could definitely be a thing with the Eight of Swords, but it also could be something like maybe they're already in a relationship. And so therefore, they're like, I shouldn't be having these thoughts and feelings about the collective. And that could also get them stuck in their head, overthinking everything. And also that feeling of being stuck. Like, I can't go towards the collective because I'm already like in a relationship with someone. Interesting. And I wonder if like it could even be something like what do they call that? When like people have like fake relationships or like in their mind they have like a deeper connection to famous people than they actually do. Or like yeah, I don't know what it's called though. It's like something along the lines of like give me a minute. Yeah, it's like when you have like a one-sided relationship with a celebrity and you think like more deeper about that person than they think of the person that has those feelings. There's a word for it. Oh, I know as soon as I stop recording, it's probably going to come to my mind. But I'll look it up when I'm editing, or I'll try to think about it when I'm editing. Anywho, it could be something like that, where it's like if you're in the public eye, or if you're standing out in a big way, or you have like a lot of eyes on you, it could be that this person, yeah, it's like a one-sided relationship potentially, where it's like they kind of know that they would never be with you because maybe there's like distance or you're in the public eye, but it's like from what they've seen maybe they kind of have a crush on you with that. Yeah, so that would maybe make sense why they have more of a superficial connection to you. Interesting. um and they can free themselves from this mental prison, so if they really wanted to make a change they could. I want to see what's underneath that Eight of Swords though. Queen of Pentacles. Oh, this could be a feminine that's into you. But because of the drastic difference between the Eight of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, I feel more inclined to say that maybe it's more so you that is that Queen of Pentacles, and this person is in their head about how they feel about you, how they see you. They could really put you on a pedestal and put themselves a lot lower. I'm curious. I'm going to look underneath that Queen of Pentacles. King of Wands. So, you could have a feminine and a masculine that are crushing on you. But also, it feels like maybe this could be indicating maybe a couple. So maybe one of these people in this relationship that you're not involved in has feelings for you. Yeah, it could be an indication that they are in a relationship, and one of these people in this relationship, well, actually, maybe both of them. It depends on the dynamic, right? But more than likely, it's just one person out of this relationship that has these feelings and thoughts about you, and that's why they're so stuck in their head, feeling like, oh, I shouldn't be thinking this. I shouldn't be daydreaming about the collective. Interesting. I'm gonna see what else comes out for that Nine of Pentacles. Thank you. Anything else for that Nine of Pentacles? Clarification for that Nine of Pentacles. Who has a crush on the collective, and maybe why? And maybe who are they? Yeah. Ooh, interesting. So the yeah. So the cards that came out is the Knight of Wands. Three of Swords came out in this direction. Interesting. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. Oh, so you are this Queen of Pentacles, in this person's eyes, at least, regardless of gender. You're just somebody very stable, abundant, confident, secure. But with them showing up in that Knight of Wands energy, this person could be a bit of a player. So maybe be on the lookout for that. Also, Three of Swords can sometimes indicate a third party. Came out like this. So I'm almost inclined to say that maybe they feel brokenhearted about their connection with you. Like they feel like maybe something took place in the past that didn't work out, or maybe they already kind of broke their own heart by assuming that maybe you're not interested. Or with the way that it came out, I almost wonder, did they have to break someone's heart to be able to come towards you to express themselves? Oh, bottom of the deck. Four of Wands. You know, as much as this can be a union card, like coming into a union with another person, it can also be like somebody that already has an established union with someone else, potentially. Well, the Knight of Wands is not, especially with the energy I'm picking up on, I feel like this Knight of Wands may be more of a player and maybe just wants you for more superficial reasons. And I almost wonder too, is that if it is this person comes towards you, and then maybe this Eight of Swords energy is you being like, why is this person coming into my life when I am just doing my own thing, minding my own business? And then maybe you're like, aren't they in a relationship though? Like, you know, you could be like kind of questioning things and kind of questioning this person. Like, what is your plan here? What is your, like, either what are you hiding, or, you know, what is your purpose here? Because you do not want to be disturbed when you're in the zone. You're definitely focusing on your own abundance and building that. So it feels like you're not even in the mood for this romance or this person potentially being romantic with you. But more than likely, because the Knight of Wands, so the Knight of Wands isn't always in the shadow sense. But with the context I'm picking up here, it feels like maybe this is somebody that is more so in the shadowy parts of the Knight of Wands, which would be that player energy and player-like tendencies. Maybe this person already has a reputation for being very flirtatious and very unfaithful to their spouse or partner. But it could be that this person makes you overthink to a degree, and you're just like, what? Like, why are you like, why? It almost feels like, why are you coming to me? Why are you coming to me at this time? Why a Knight of Wands? I also, because the Knight of Wands is charismatic, it is possible that this person may try to manipulate you into thinking they left someone behind. In reality, they may have not. And so I wonder if, with this Queen of Pentacles and Eight of Swords, if your intuition tells you something's not quite right with this person, such as they're lying to you, such as they are going to say anything to convince you to entertain them. And they may try to say, like, oh, I see a whole future with you. But it's like, how could we build a future together if you're still connected to someone else? Yeah. So trust your intuition. If somebody shady comes towards you and you get like a bad feeling, or not even a bad feeling, but just a weird feeling sometimes, or if you feel super confused and you don't really have a good reason for, kind of feeling that sense of confusion, it could be a sign in your intuition that this person's, either a player, just dates everyone, doesn't really commit, or they have a union in the background, long-term commitment, more than likely, that they are lying to you about. So trust your intuition, definitely. Do not let this person get you stuck inside your head. It is possible, too, that maybe this is somebody from your past who you wanted to be with at one point, and so that could also be that triggering of that Eight of Swords. It's like, oh, if only they came like 10 years earlier, or like, if only they came into my life during this certain time period, then I might entertain it. But now it's like you're conflicted. You're like, why now? Like, what is their plan here? Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna have to just roll with it and hope for the best. Okay. Oh no, I got super distracted. Okay. So they may try to test the waters, see how you react. If you don't react favorably, they probably will. It almost even makes me think, like, what if they come towards you? And then if you say no, they're just like, okay, at least I have my partner out. Something about this person's energy just kind of gives me the heebie jeebies. Like, they don't feel super transparent, and that's not something I like, and something I don't want for my collective, for real. But they may try to paint a picture of the future, um, to try and win you over, like, oh, well, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this. But the thing is, the people that talk the most do the least action. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I would necessarily take what they say very seriously. Spirit might want you to, trust in your intuition, trust in any sort of feeling in your gut, that like, I don't know if I should trust this person. I don't know. They feel like they're lying, or, maybe I know that they're lying, but oh yes, and that's where I was. I was talking about how maybe at one point you did have feelings for this person, and you're like, why now though? Like, what is it about now? Oh, I see now. The reason why it's now is because you are successful. You have abundance that you've built on your own. You are independent. You don't need them. You don't want them, more than likely. So it's like that is all attractive to this person. It's almost like they want what they can't have. And they may just like you for superficial reasons, but they probably will try to manipulate you into thinking that it's more than that. I'm going to see what's underneath that Four of Wands. The Sun card. There is, on the other hand, especially with that Sun card under the Four of Wands, you could be, I swear, if it's this storyline, I'm gonna be like, damn. Okay, so what I'm picking up on is potentially maybe you're going into a very happy union with someone else, and this Knight of Wands wants to come in to interrupt that, to see if they still got a chance with you, to see if you're going to leave whoever you have behind in favor of them. Which, if the person that you're coming into union with is the Four of Wands and the Sun, that's a healthy, happy relationship. Also very transparent, nothing being hidden, unlike that Knight of Wands that I feel. I feel like that Knight of Wands is a little sketchy. I'm going to see what's underneath the Sun card. The World card. Okay. So you're actually on to bigger and better things. You've learned your lessons. Okay, I'm super proud of you because this does not make me fearful at all. Because you've been there, done that. And maybe not with this specific person, but maybe it's like, they remind you of someone or, whatever. Where it's like, you've been around the block a time or two. So, like who's going to waste your time, who's not. And maybe you do really trust your intuition and you're listening to it if it says anything about this Knight of Wands being up to no good. So you're in a completely different vibration, it feels like. Okay. So yeah, this person may not even be successful because you're in that right mind, right attitude. Okay, cool. Okay. So I don't think this person's going to fool you. I think you're going to see right through them, especially if you have a very powerful intuition. You're going to know what's up. Okay. Now let's go on to this King of Cups. Please and thank you, Spirit. Can you clarify this King of Cups for us? Who is this that has a crush on the collective? Please and thank you, Spirit. I hope it's not like super like out of frame or anything for the recording right now, but we shall see when I'm editing. Anything else about this King of Cups? Please and thank you, Spirit. Who is this that has a crush on the collective and maybe why? Okay. Okay. A little bit of a confusing energy here, but I thought there was another card that came out. Maybe it just went back into the deck. Yeah, there's no flipped over ones in the deck. Okay, so clarifying that King of Cups, we have the Fool card. The High Priestess came out in the reverse. Okay, I'm actually thinking something about that. We'll see. Five of Swords came out this way. And then we have the Three of Pentacles, Five of Wands, Two of Cups, Queen of Swords. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Swords. So, actually, that High Priestess in the reverse, at first I was a little scared. But since it follows this Fool card, why do I feel like this King of Cups may come out of nowhere asking if you are open to them, if you're open to a new beginning with them, or just like, if you don't know this person, then they probably are just asking you, like, hey, do you want to see where this goes? Because they're very open to a new beginning with you. But the High Priestess in the reverse, I almost feel like saying this could be a sign that maybe you don't see this coming, even though you have a very strong intuition. Maybe your intuition is like focused on other things, such as that sketchy person. And so maybe you just don't see it coming. Or maybe you doubted your intuition. Perhaps. But also, the High Priestess is somebody that keeps to themselves and also is quiet to the point of silent. So maybe it's also an indication that this person helps you open up to them. Because maybe they're showing up in a very authentic, optimistic energy. And so you're like, okay, maybe I can give this a chance. And then you kind of open up to them. You're no longer silent. You're no longer sticking to yourself. Maybe you're like, okay, maybe it's time for me to open up to new connections, new possibilities here. The Five of Swords coming out like this is interesting to me. Oh. So this could either indicate that Knight of Wands we saw or this King of Cups, but I think the Five of Swords could be somebody that's wanting to win you over no matter what the cost is. Not to you. They care very much about what the cost would be to you, but to other people. They're not afraid of like outshining the competition, outdoing the competition. even if it hurts the competition's feelings. So either that's that Knight of Wands energy showing up in that, which would maybe make sense. But then it could also be that King of Cups, where it's like this person may want to be with you so badly that they aren't afraid of doing whatever it takes in order to win you over, even if it means getting a little messy. Oh, and the way that this looks, it looks like, it almost looks like this figure here is looking up towards the Fool. This is that Knight of Wands energy, because he's looking at this King of Cups coming in towards you, wanting to start a new beginning and maybe convincing you to start a new beginning. And then maybe that's when that Knight of Wands comes in. And this Knight of Wands gets really jealous about this King of Cups. And it's probably because they know this King of Cups means business and probably is not immature like that Knight of Wands may be. Okay, I see now. I see. And it's interesting that the Three of Pentacles comes out after that, because I almost feel like it's like third party, but not in the standard way. It almost feels like you may have like two different options, and it's like a love triangle, or like a third party situation where it's like two people are fighting for your attention here. Because they both want to build with you. They both want to work with you to build something here. They both see themselves creating a future with you. And so this Knight of Wands probably wants to come in and kind of maybe show off in their own way, try to beat out the competition. They may be a little bit, and it almost even feels like maybe this person didn't even say anything, but it's like the second you have someone else in the picture, they all of a sudden want to come in and be like, no, 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 I want to be with the collective. And it's like, well, why didn't you speak up before when I was available? Weird. But also that Three of Pentacles could be indicating about that Knight of Wands having a already established foundation with someone else. And that could be a third party situation there as well. And maybe you see that in that Knight of Wands and you're like, why would I want to build with you when you're not even like single? You know, you still have this whole foundation set up elsewhere, and yet you still want to pursue me. Like, what do you have to offer? Like, something is here about maybe you being very aware of that already existing foundation. And so you're like, why would I want to entertain that? That seems very low vibrational. And it feels like you're in a higher vibration. So it's like, this person's not going to have a very convincing case for you to trust. And look at that, the Five of Wands, which can be a card of competition. So this Knight of Wands wants to beat out the competition. They're willing to do anything to convince you to go with them instead of this King of Cups. But I don't know that they will be successful in that, because your intuition is spot on. This King of Cups is probably a really good option for you. And what comes after that Five of Wands is the Two of Cups. So yes, this screams of like you coming into union with someone else, but this Knight of Wands wants to come in and all of a sudden cause like some sort of disruption in this probably very healthy connection you have with someone else. Because it feels like you hit it off with this King of Cups. This King of Cups could kind of come out of nowhere, but also, and that could like be surprising for you, because usually your intuition may tell you if somebody's coming in, or maybe you just straight up doubted your intuition, like you knew that someone was coming in, or you had an idea but you kind of didn't believe it, and then all of a sudden boom, they're here. But that Two of Cups would indicate that the two of you are really hitting it off. You both have that equal give and take, healthy reciprocal love that is also very healing. Also like an open exchanging of feelings as well. So if you have ever been with somebody or in a connection with somebody that struggled with being open with their communication of their feelings, this King of Cups feels like that is not a problem for them. They are totally fine with sharing their feelings for you. But that Knight of Wands, though, I don't know if they would be so open and serious about communicating their feelings to you. But the Queen of Swords comes after that Two of Cups. So it's almost like if you are entertaining this King of Cups, you're very protective either of the King of Cups or the connection you have established with that King of Cups. And so you have your guard up when this Knight of Wands comes in because it's like, what do you want? Also, the Queen of Swords has a hell of an intuition. She sees through any BS and any sort of manipulation. Like, there's no fooling the Queen of Swords. She sees it all. Yeah, and your head is clear. So it's almost like you made up your mind already about this Knight of Wands at this point when they try to come in and disrupt this really healthy connection. You've already made your mind up about this person. So you have your guard up. I think you'll listen to them. You'll at least hear them out, but I don't think you're going to take that Knight of Wands very seriously. No, because like you find this connection worth protecting, but also you may be guarding yourself as well, like knowing if this person is a player, the Knight of Wands. There's also that aspect of protecting not only this King of Cups and the connection you have with them, but also protecting yourself. Yeah, it feels like they're not going to get through any sort of boundaries that you've established for yourself, for your life, or your connections. Even if that Knight of Wands thinks that they're super charming, charismatic, they just may not have that effect on you. And you're just like, no, I'm good. And maybe that Knight of Wands is not used to that. Knight of Swords, fast incoming movement coming towards you to communicate. So that could be this Knight of Wands energy, or this could be the King of Cups energy. Let's see what's underneath. Strength. That's usually associated with Leo, but so it's likely that it could be that Knight of Wands there. But on the other hand, it could also just be that King of Cups gaining courage and strength in order to come towards you and express themselves. So I'm going to see what's underneath that strength card. King of Wands. But the thing is, I'm hesitant to say that that's the Knight of Wands, especially because of the energy I was getting. If it's the King of Wands upright, I feel like this is not somebody that would be in that player energy because they're super confident on their own. They are very fulfilled with their life and they're not afraid to go towards the things that they want. I feel like this could be, even though it sounds weird, it may be that King of Cups energy, this King of Wands. Because also, the King of Cups and the King of Wands, they're both tapped into their heart, just in different ways. With the King of Cups, it's more of an emotional thing, whereas the King of Wands would be more of like that fiery passion. I'm going to see what's underneath that King of Wands. Ten of Pentacles. I also feel like this jumbled energy. So I wonder if there's going to be multiple people trying to get your attention because they have a crush on you. Because it feels like I'm not. This could be a whole third person. Maybe it's neither. This King of Wands could be someone else. But again, I'm not getting that it's the Knight of Wands. It could be possible because of the fire energy, but not necessarily. And that King of Cups came in that powerful energy. So more than likely, this King of Wands would be, an empowered energy similar to that King of Cups. And yes, because it feels like more so like this King of Cups has more stability within them and more success to some degree, or like something to actually offer you here. With that Ten of Pentacles, they could really see it all with you, building a whole future with you. Happy home, happy life, happy family, maybe. I'm going to see what's underneath. Ace of Cups. Well, there's an outpouring of emotion here. So I feel like it will be like time will tell who this King of Wands is. Either they're a third person that also has a crush on you and wants to be with you, or it's that King of Cups energy, which I feel like is more likely. And also we have the Ace of Cups there, so the King of Wands / King of Cups, they would probably be more open to sharing those emotions with you. Whereas the Knight of Wands probably not very emotional based, and maybe they even have problems with emotional intimacy, and that could be kind of why they struggle with fidelity or yeah, kind of sticking to one person. I know I keep looking at this because I'm just curious. I want to get more answers. Let's see what's underneath that. Page of Swords. Oh, okay. I think I see now. I think this is the King of Cups because that Page of Swords, I think, indicates to me that this is somebody that's been watching you, maybe watching you work. If you have your work out there in the world in a way that this person would be able to see, and maybe they're very impressed by that, and that kind of makes them want to open up to you. Like they've observed enough to the point where they know that what they're feeling for you is genuine and valuable. Because it almost even feels like maybe you had no idea that this King of Cups was even watching you, and that could be why that High Priestess came out in the reverse. Like you really had no idea that this person was watching you in the background, because maybe you were just focused on other things such as your stability, your abundance, your work that you've been pouring yourself into. Okay, one more. I'm just gonna see what's underneath that one. Five of Pentacles. Okay. Someone here has a huge lack mindset. But also that Page of Swords could also be the Knight of Wands who has been watching you, because then it's like, how do they know that you're coming into union with that King of Cups? I keep getting back and forth. It feels like it could be either or. I'm gonna ask the cards. I'm gonna just ask Spirit, hey. No. I'm gonna ask Spirit, who is this King of Wands? Is it the King of Cups? Okay. Let's see. So if you came out, and we have we have Four of Swords, the Hermit, Nine of Cups, and then bottom of the deck is the Tower card. So I feel like there's going to be a big shakeup in your life happening here. And maybe it's simply because you have two people fighting over you, and you're just like, maybe you're not used to having a lot of people's interest or a lot of people's attention, and so it's kind of like surprising and shocking. Feels like you've kind of just been minding your own business, focusing your attention elsewhere, probably more so on yourself, your spirituality, where you're guided to go. And it's like you've been working on your manifestations. And so I asked if this is the King of Cups, and I almost feel like this could even be indicating that your intuition would know. um, maybe through the way I was describing them. But this could be a yes, that this is the King of Cups. And the Hermit also could speak of like, you are wise, you are experienced. Yeah. So trust in your intuition if you're getting a weird feeling from any of these people that are trying to come in towards you. And I almost feel like maybe this, because it is the Nine of Cups, I wonder if the King of Wands, who I believe to be the King of Cups as well, they could be a wish fulfillment for you or a manifestation. Or if they're a third person, maybe they're your true match. The Tower, though, interesting. A lot of shakeup. A feeling of maybe being overwhelmed or something's chaotic. I want to see what's underneath that. Justice. Scales are being balanced out. The truth will be revealed. Okay, so maybe it's like with time you'll figure out who's who in this. Interesting. Because it's almost like Spirit's trying to say trust your intuition here. I'm going to see what's underneath that Justice card. The World card. You've learned lessons. You've grown a lot. And you keep moving upward. Very positive. Okay. So I feel like almost this is saying like whoever you attract or whoever you allow into your life is going to be a good match for you. And you don't really have to worry if you're like if you're concerned, oh, what if I choose the wrong person, or you know, what if I make the wrong choice? I feel like it's saying something along the lines of like just trust yourself. You know who's who, and you know who to trust and who not to trust. And it's probably something to do with your intuition. I want to see what's underneath the World card. The Sun. So a lot of positive energy here. I think it's the King of Cups. I think that King of Wands that we saw, I think that is the King of Cups. But it's going to be a wish fulfillment for you because that's a lot of happiness. That's a lot of Judgment just came out. Get ready for a huge shift. You're starting a new chapter in your life, and it's going to be a big difference from your past, I want to say. The Lovers just came out. I feel like this is saying that Spirit is guiding your soulmate to you, and maybe you to your soulmate. Spirit is like pulling strings behind the scenes to make this work, or to bring this together rather, so that you're able to step into a new direction in which you've never seen that before. Yeah. I think, yeah, this King of Cups means business. The Moon card at the bottom of the deck now. Fear of the unknown. Not being able to see things quite clearly. The fear that comes with that. See what's underneath that. Ten of Wands. That feels like to me to trust your intuition because you've put in enough work into yourself, into your life. You're going to know what to do even if you're scared. Because you're going to feel driven towards what is truly meant for you. We're going to see what's underneath that. Five of Cups. You may have been brokenhearted for some time now. Or just really disappointed in your love life. But it feels like that's shifting for you. Let's see what's underneath the Four of Wands. Yes, it's shifting for you. Okay, so good. You've put a lot of effort into your growth and maybe working on your intuition, your intuitive skills. Okay. So I think what it's saying is just like trust your intuition. The right person is going to show up. Just believe that you deserve the best because that's exactly what you're going to receive. Okay. Then we have the Six of Wands here. That's all about success. I want to see what's underneath. Nine of Swords. So this could be following a time of you being really anxious, losing sleep, being upset, overthinking. maybe nightmares, maybe loss of sleep. You could be exiting like a time period of anxiety, or maybe things have just been really stressful in your life. And I feel like this could be an indication that things are about to get a lot better. Let's see what's underneath that Nine of Swords. King of Swords, another king. So honestly, now that we have a third king, I think I'm more confident in saying that that is the King of Cups, because we got the King of Cups, we got the King of Wands, and now the King of Swords. All of the kings together make the Emperor. And I feel, especially with all of that high vibration energy, I feel like you are probably in that Empress energy, so that the Emperor would be your compatible match here, somebody that's actually on your level and gets you in that way. I'm going to see what's underneath that King of Swords. Eight of Swords. You may be a little bit overwhelmed at first with one or two of these people like reaching out to you. You may feel like everyone's a threat in the dating scene, but I feel like you're way more equipped for a healthy relationship than you realize, and I feel like you're attracting that maybe way more strongly and way more sooner than you realize. I'm gonna see what's underneath that Eight of Swords. Ten of Swords, rock bottom. You can't see something because of a lot of difficulty here. You may have just been going through it. With that Nine of Swords, Eight of Swords, Ten of Swords, that sounds really rough. You've been going through a lot mentally, I feel like. But underneath that Ten of Swords, we have the King of Pentacles. That's the fourth king to make this person the Emperor. So yes, I'm right. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. This is all the same person. And I feel like it's going to feel really good, I think. Because you're attracting the person that's actually meant for you. And it could be following a time of you being really stressed out, being very anxious, being very uncertain, maybe about yourself, maybe about your future. But it feels like that is all shifting for you because you've been putting in that work on yourself. And so I think you're going to be attracting your soulmate. As long as you just don't, entertain people like that Knight of Wands who just want to come in for maybe a good time, not a long time. Yeah. Okay, let's break out the Oracle, see if there's any additional messages. Please and thank you, Spirit. Do you have like any advice or any words of wisdom for the collective when it comes to this reading? Please and thank you. When it comes to these people who have a crush on the collective, do you have any additional messages for the collective? Please and thank you, Spirit. Something fell out. Oh, a few did. Okay, so we have summer, expansion, and growth, it says. So sometimes I get like this feeling of like summer could be more associated with happier times and youthful energy as well, but like also romance. I feel like this is talking about if you open up to the person that is truly meant for you, there could be a lot of expansion for your own growth for sure, but it's also going to feel warm and light. It's like, yes, trust your feelings because that's really all that it really needs, or like all that you really need to do here is just trust in your intuition, like the vibes you get off of these people. And then we have the Moon card, and this represents phases, cycles, and intuition. Okay, Spirit does want you to trust your intuition because it's like you have probably been working on your intuition for some time. It's going to be way more accurate than maybe you believe it to be. Yeah. Also, cycles and phases. I feel like you have outgrown those lower vibrational phases in which maybe you're attracting the wrong types of people. I think you're opening a new chapter in which you're attracting the right kinds of people, and you're going to be able to tell through your gut, through your intuition, okay, this is actually somebody who is meant for me. And then we have butterfly, which represents transformation, joy, beauty, and transience. Okay. Yeah, you've transformed a lot. You're different than who you were in the past. There's a lot of joy coming in. You're looking very beautiful in this chapter of your life. Transience, I believe that is like a word for travel, if I'm not mistaken. So it feels like you're moving out of an old phase or cycle that wasn't serving you, and you're opening up to a new phase that will serve you because you are in that alignment through the work that you have done on yourself. At the bottom of the deck is Rosemary, and this represents remembrance, loyalty, and faithfulness. If you think about it, this is actually a really good sign that the person who is meant for you is going to be loyal and faithful. With the remembrance part, I almost wonder if you know this person to some degree. It doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to be like you were like best friends or, you know, that you dated or anything like that. But maybe this person either reminds you of somebody from your past in a positive way, or you could know them from your past in some way. And again, I'm not sensing anything like crazy, like they're an ex or anything like that. It may just simply be like, oh, I remember bumping into them at the grocery store or something. I don't know. It could be literally anything. Also, I just want to point out the blue butterfly imagery here. So trust that you have transformed because you have, and you're ready to fly. And if you think about it, going from not being able to fly to being able to fly, that puts you in a higher position, higher vibration. So trust that you have done everything correctly to attract your perfect soulmate. And this is going to feel like a free time. You're going to feel free and carefree is what I'm getting. Also, blue butterflies could definitely be a sign for you. Or maybe any butterflies, because there's a pretty good amount of butterfly imagery here. But yeah, so honestly, be proud of yourself because you've been doing the right work. And I feel like trust your intuition because your intuition is going to be correct. If you're feeling like the vibes are off with one person, trust that. Um, and if you feel like with the other person, like, okay, we seem to kind of get along, we seem to have a lot in common, you know, definitely lean more into that. And don't be afraid to open up to that person because I think that is the person that has good intentions and actually wants what's best for you. So, yeah, trust that for sure. All right, so that is this reading. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if it resonated at all, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become a part of the Hive Collective because my name is Bee. Bees live in hives, and you can become an honorary bee like me, and we can be a little bee family together. If you like my readings and you'd like to see more, be sure to click the bell icon down below so that YouTube actually notifies you the next time that I upload. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.